Good morning to you. I am Mark Sudduth, and here's what's up in the tropics. It is Sunday, the 28th of August, 2022. Quite a busy look out there as we end the month, but still no new named storms, and it is looking likely that we could end the month of August with no activity at all in terms of named storms or hurricanes, but that could be changing in the coming days. We do have a few areas out here. This is the 48-hour outlook. If we move it along to the 120-hour or 5-day outlook, 4 different areas to watch. Obviously, the area in red has the most interest focused on it right now, but I do not want to ignore this area over here in the Northwest Caribbean Sea. In a few days, this has a chance to develop as well, and we're going to want to watch that closely for either our friends in northern Mexico or potentially even parts of South Texas. Not real sure exactly what's going to happen with that system. Is the GFS still sort of developing a phantom system, or is there something legitimate that could come out of that in the coming days? I'll show you an interesting tweet here in just a moment from our good friend Brian McNulty. All right, satellite animation this morning, still pretty active out there with lots of deep thunderstorms scattered all across the Atlantic Basin, a sign of the active Madden-Julian oscillation. But here are the 2 main areas that we're going to be really watching closely. This is Invest Area 91L right here. The most interesting area of thunderstorms with it is actually down here on the southwest side. And if that consolidates and becomes the main area of energy, and that's where a low-level center forms, then that could make things pretty interesting as we go forward. We're going to have to watch that pretty closely. Not a lot of thunderstorm activity in the Caribbean just yet, but we are going to definitely be watching this area right here over the next 2 to 3 days to see if something starts to form there. Other areas of thunderstorms across the Atlantic Basin, pretty innocent overall, no development expected anywhere else. Looking at this tweet here from Brian McNulty, despite the iffy environmental conditions, still a lot of dry air. There's a pretty good tropical upper tropospheric trough, or TUT, upper level energy that is not conducive for development. All of that making up this iffy environment that he talks about. But despite all of that, the models are in pretty good agreement that something is going to develop. The Hurricane Center giving it a 70% chance over the next 5 days. But looking in and zooming in on this graphic, there's 91L with its forecast probabilities on this particular guidance product here from Hart and Halperin, I believe from Florida State University. 56% on their guidance. And then look in the Northwest Caribbean, 41%, looking at some of the guidance that is coming in for that Caribbean system. So yes, we are going to want to watch that feature probably as closely as we're watching what's going on eventually north of the Antilles Islands there. All right, so the vorticity signature this morning, there's the area out in the central Atlantic, and the strongest, most obvious area, I mean, look at that, it really stands out at you, that area in red, that's pretty far to the southwest. And if that continues to consolidate and a low-level center forms there and can take over and maintain itself, then we could have some interesting things happening in the coming days as this slides on off to the west and west-northwest. Despite the negative conditions, it might be something we have to deal with eventually. We'll have to wait and see about that. A little bit of energy in the Caribbean Sea, but not much just yet. The key here is going to be the next 48 to 72 hours or so, and we can look at the 6C GFS right there towards the end of the next 5 days. This is a 120-hour loop, and starting at around hour 72 there through the next 5 days, something does try to pop in the Northwest Caribbean. Just not a lot of other guidance showing it overall. So is the GFS continuing to suffer from this bias of developing any kind of vorticity at all into, it's kind of what they say, making a mountain out of a molehill? We shall see. And then the GFS not very enthusiastic, interestingly enough, about our system out in the open Atlantic. It does pretty good early in the forecast period there, but then it kind of weakens it, probably due to some negative conditions that are still prevalent across the tropical Atlantic. So a lot to watch, nothing to be concerned with immediately, but a pretty active beginning to September coming up. Although we still have 3 days in August, we don't want to write that off completely. Something could pop sooner, and we end the month with a named storm, but it's not looking very likely. All right, that's it from me. Have a great rest of your Sunday morning. As always, thanks for tuning in to What's Up in the Tropics. I'll have another update for you again tomorrow morning.